Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV. I'm Clyde Whiting, and tonight we bring you round 4 of the Backfire Simsport GT4 TCR Challenge from Pork Chopsville, also known as Road Atlanta. In the booth with me tonight at the moment, I have Pete Bingham. Good evening.
Good evening, Clyde. Good evening, everybody.
And doing the cameras and all the magic that you see on your screen is Sam Boozin. Good evening, Sam. We don't know where Bill is. He's missing in action at the moment. Pete, Road Atlanta, a track that I'll admit, the first couple of times I drove it, I absolutely hated it. And then found a rhythm. I wouldn't say I'm fast around here, but I'm safe and consistent. And it's turned out to be one of my favourite tracks. What about you?
It was one of the very first tracks I ever learned on any race game, as it were. It would probably be something like, what that one used to be called? I can't remember now. It's all beyond me. And I've loved it ever since. I like it. I'm a bit like you. I'm not particularly fast around it, but I'm reliable. I know where all the crashing points are, which is quite key. And I avoid them at all costs. So I really like the track. I think it's one of the best tracks in the world, funnily enough. And I find it's got everything it needs in order to be an exciting racetrack. So a big straight, some of it uphill. On the back there, the S's, you can end up in the walls around that. Turn 5, which is that weird one where you end up coming. It's a left-hand turn. You go charging up the hill, and your car gets unbalanced on the huge curbing on the right-hand side, and you spear off into the wall on the left. I think it's just a really dynamic track. It's going to be great for these cars around here. I've not raced it yet this week. I will be doing because I love this track so much.
Excellent. So, what have we got to tell you tonight? So we have a new driver in TCR, as in new to the league, Paul King. So welcome to Paul. And Mark Heron has switched from GT4 to TCR. So hopefully we've got 8 TCRs in the field. And I believe I heard better late than never Switzer turn up. Good evening, Bill.
I have been here. I had to move my truck. It was in the way outside. So sorry about that. Good evening to you all.
And what are your thoughts on Road Atlanta, Bill?
Great track. I love it. It's changed over the years a little bit, that little chicane at the end of the back straightaway, because the other curve that they used to have there caused a lot of accidents, people crashing into the bridge abutment at 150 miles an hour. So that's why that chicane got put down on the bottom. But it's a very exciting track. A lot of professional series raced here. They used to have championships here. It's, again, probably in my top 5 in the United States, no doubt about that. It's a lot of elevation changes, off-camber corners, tight together, fast, bumpy. It's got it all. It's really a nice track. It's going to be fun. Especially, I think it'll be really good for these guys. I heard one of you saying that, and I agree.
Yeah, I think it's made for these cars. So before we go any further, let's go through our current standings after 3 rounds. So in GT4, Kevin Vimont currently leads the way on 468 points. AAA, after his recent win, is up there on 438. Andrew Hopley making his charge back up to 431. Greg Vranks is on 416 and Stuart Dick is on 376. In TCR, with 3 wins to his name, is Tom Stanley with 617. Second is David Ayres with 492. Third is Carl Hardy with 441. Fourth is Scott Malcolm with 439. And fifth is Chris Shaw on 253. Now, I know Sam hasn't got the team standings, but I'll just run through the top 5 for the viewers. So Result Clothing currently lead the way on 933 points, followed by H Motorsports with 847, Mika Esports on 833, Asymmetric GT4 on 814, and Asymmetric TCR on 617. Where are we currently in qualifying? We are just over 6 minutes gone. Your top three in GT4 are Kevin Vimont, Romain Ratu, and Tyler Newitt. I forgot to mention as well, Tyler's new to this league. We're so used to seeing him race that we forget where he is and what he does. In TCR, your top three currently are Chris Shaw, Scott Malcolm, who we said is going to do better with qualifying, and Mark Heron. So, Pete, just looking through the drivers that we've got, let's start with TCR. Tom Stanley, 3 wins out of 3. Will it be 4 out of 4?
It's going to take a lot of effort from at least 2 of these guys. I reckon one-on-one, he's got the moves to get it done. I think if there's 2 people fighting with him, he's going to be a bit more hesitant. So maybe Chris Shaw and Scott Malcolm can get up there quickly. Although Paul King looks like he's nippy around the track. He's just posted a decent time. And Chris Shaw at the minute is leading the charge for TCR at the moment. Tom Stanley's only in 5th at the minute. So I don't know what his optimals are or anything like that. So we'll have to see if he can make his way forward. But he's certainly a handy driver. There's a few people that can take it to him, but they haven't shown their face so far this season.
Yeah, although Tom has won all 3 races, I do believe that that TCR bunch is, any of them can win it. So yeah, we'll see. And Bill, into GT4s. So we've got the usual suspects up the top at the moment with Kevin Vimont, Andrew Hopley, and Double R. But we see AAA get a win last week. We know Gregory Vranks is quick. We know Stuart Dick is quick. We know Tyler Newitt is quick from our V8s. And Paul Burgess probably had the drive of his life last week, and he's up there. So, again, do you think that can go anyway, or do you think Hopley's going to be back to his masterful self and run away with this?
Well, I think Andrew Hopley really is truly the man to beat. Not that I don't like Andrew; he's a heck of a nice guy, but would like to see other people challenging him a little more, like AAA did last week. But we've got probably, I think you named the guys that really have a chance. It's all going to depend on the conditions and what happens out there and all the different kind of stuff. My dark horse is Roman Ratu. He is very fast, but near the end of the race, I don't know whether he gets tired or isn't concentrating or whatever, but either gets bad brakes or something. He is very fast, and I'm looking for him to break through one time and win, and this might be the night, hopefully.
It could be, yes. It's an afternoon race, so it's going to be a very, very hot track. I believe it's about 110 degrees Fahrenheit at the moment. We're coming up to halfway in the qualifying session. So last time out, there was no random safety car. And funny that, on Discord, Pete, we have people that like the safety car, people that dislike the safety car. And a lot of people were quite upset that it didn't come out last week.
Yeah, they'll now be in that place where they're preparing for it. They'll get into that routine of pitting early and trying to guess or beat the safety car. That'll be the next thing that comes around on Discord. But it made for a very interesting race. There was clearly people praying for it, and there was not getting it, and there was clearly people not wanting it and benefiting from it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this time out. It is random, so I mean, it's good that we don't know in the booth, because if we did, then it'd be a different kettle of fish. It'd probably ruin our highly professional broadcasts.
Keep secret well, you know.
Yeah, which we're keeping absolutely under wraps until we need to be professional. Good evening on the chat to Olivier Guadalupe, Alan Toon, and Stephen Lee, who we've already got a fan for, Paul King. He must come with his own. What's that? Dial-a-fan or something like that? Or
Yeah, Rent-a-Fan.
rentafan.com or something. No, that's good. Bring as many of your friends with you as you need to. And yeah, safety car. It's a very unique feature of what we've got going on in 2 leagues now, isn't it? It is ridiculously exciting. I like the unknown nature of it. I think that's good. I think the drivers secretly like it. They just get a strop on when it doesn't work out for them.
Yeah, I agree. Most definitely.
Yeah, when it hits you with the ugly stick, you don't like it, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing to have, I think.
Yeah, it's certainly. There's still some more tweaks we can make. Yeah, we won't do it this season, obviously, but we're looking at it for next season. Just for the
Do I
viewers,
get to drive the safety car next season?
No.
Oh,
The safety car crashes enough on its own.
it does as well. Do you see the one where it got stuck in the wall?
Yeah, that's great.
That's class.
Yeah, just for the viewers at home. So it is a random safety car. There will be a safety. We will throw a safety car if the track is ever blocked. But that aside, we have a random safety car. So before the race, Sam does a random yes/no. Obviously, if it's a no, we don't do a random safety car. If it's a yes, he does a random number between 15 and 45, and that tells Sam what minute the safety car will come out. So, it can shake the field up. A lot of the drivers do tend to try and pit early to try and negate the safety car. But then some people take a risk, and if it doesn't come out, it can pay off. So it's an hour-long race, so anything can happen. We've seen it over the season and a bit that we've been going. Never take it for granted that who's in the lead is going to win. Isn't that right, Pete?
Yeah, I'm rarely in the lead of races, so it would apply to me if I ever was. Yeah, we've seen a few people get, how do we say, disadvantaged.
That's very polite. That's a very polite way of saying it. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. By the safety car, I think was it the first race. It really upset somebody. But never mind. I'm sure they'll dry their tears and just buy a bigger box of Kleenex next time to wipe them away. Even in a race where there's no safety car, when you're passing other fields of cars and people are vying for getting past as fast as they can past a slower car in a slower class, it's a gamble, isn't it? They've got to be compliant. And what we've seen in this league is they have absolutely cleaned up the races. It's really good now. You don't see any of the craziness anymore. So hopefully these new guys that are joining us are already aware of that and they can follow suit.
Yeah, I'm sure Bill will agree with me. This is turning into an extremely clean and gentlemanly league. Yes, we do have our ups and downs and the odd mishap, but on the whole, Bill, the driving standards are excellent.
Yeah, they really are. It's certainly not a quarter-mile dirt race in the United States, I can tell you that. But it's and they're a good group of guys. I mean, we don't have anybody that's a maniac and crazy. I mean, in the heat, you got heat of the moment. Any of us do, but they're all really, they're good at what they do, and we got up and comers, which is really nice to see too. So I think I think you're going to see. Maybe by next season, we're going to have a heck of a lot more cars in this because, word of mouth spreads. And, where can I find a clean, GT4 TCR league? Well, that word's going to come out that this is the one.
Yeah, it certainly is. So 3/4 of the way through qualifying now. And new boy to this league, Tyler Newitt, is currently sitting on provisional pole in GT4s. Andrew Hopley second, Kevin Vermont third. And in TCR, Tom Stanley has worked his way to the front. Chris Shaw is second, and Scott Malcolm with a much improved qualifying showing so far in third. Now, at the moment, we don't have Marco with us. He doesn't always show up for these ones. But I was going to ask him about tactics. Pete, what do you think the tactics are going to be? Do you think the drivers are going to be... there wasn't a safety car last week, so there's definitely going to be one this week, so we're all going to pit early. Do you think anybody's going to risk going longer? No safety car 2 weeks on the trot. What do you think will happen?
I think everybody will get utterly paranoid and pit as soon as they can. I think it really will be that. They'll think, we didn't get one last time. It's random. What are our chances? Are we that lucky? Probably not. Box the car as soon as we can, which will add its own excitement because entire classes will enter pit lane at the same time and create a new spectacle for us to commentate on. I think it's going to be a very, very close race, and made closer by the fact that I think a lot of people are going to pit at the same time as one another. It should also be noted that the top three in GT4 are separated by, what's that? Is that like 1/10 or something?
Yeah, 8/100ths.
8/100ths of a second. So that is going to be fantastic to watch if those three launch, and Roman is not far behind them, and he launches very close to them as well. It's going to be a very tight race, this. It is actually quite hard to get away around this track. That back straight gives you a huge amount of slipstream, so as long as you stick within about a second and a half, preferably inside a second and a half, you'd be okay because you'll pull back up onto them. And the twisty bits, all it takes is a slight wheel out, so the smoother you are, the more calm you are behind the wheel at Road Atlanta, the better.
Yeah, and it's not a particularly long track. It's only 2.5 miles. There's a 3-second difference between the quickest GT4 and the quickest TCR. So I would suspect at some point there's going to be some GT4 TCR action. And if the TCRs are all sort of clogged up like they normally are, it's not going to be easy for those GT4s to get past them, Bill.
Oh, it isn't. And as we well know, even though the TCR and GT4 race really not against each other, human nature, two cars side by side, you got to race. Let's face it. So it's going to be interesting. And I agree with you. I think we're going to have a few traffic issues tonight. I really do. And I don't see anybody breaking out there real far or anything. Like Pete said, it's a hard place to hide. You really can't get away here. So unless the only way is if somebody goes off the road or something. Mm-hmm. But there's going to be a lot of action here tonight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite easy to go off the road with the track temperatures we're going to get. And
it might help, yeah.
It's going to be a bit slippy. Interestingly, Pete, Kevin Vermont has just popped himself on provisional pole with just under a minute to go.
That won't please... Well, we know Tyler knew it. That won't please him. He'll want to be top of the pile. And Andrew Hopley will be getting a bit nervous now. Roman Ratto not far behind at all. And neither is Gregory Franks. So Tyler knew it. Spoiling the Mika versus H Motorsports battle. That'll be very interesting. And at the other end, in TCR, there's not a lot in the top two. There's only 2/10 between Tom Stanley and Chris Shaw at the minute. Scott Malcolm, a complete change of tactic. He's actually at the top of the qualifying this time. He is, 3/10 behind them or 4/10 behind them. So nothing in it really. It's sizing itself up to be a fantastic looking race.
Yeah, checkers are out. There's still cars on track. Interestingly, 2 Porsches at the top.
I was just going to mention that. Yeah, of course, 2 very competent drivers behind the wheel of those 2.
But this is a twisty track. It's a track where you need to rely upon that lateral movement or lack of it. You want it to grip up really quick. And the Porsche is good at that. It really is. Yeah. And we saw last time out that the BMW kind of mullers the Porsche on the straights. There is only one real straight driving opportunity around here. Everything else is pretty twisty.
I know a lot of people don't think so, but this is a momentum track. You got to really keep rolling and got to roll fast. It's one of those kind of tracks.
Yep. And directional changes everything around here.
Yep.
Sorry, you were trying to get through, Sick Note?
No, I was just going to say that Hopley bailed from his lap, as did Greg Ranks. AAA still on. No, actually, AAA is going around slow. So all the GT4s are finished. It's just Roger Morton on the track now.
Yeah, he's slowing it up, though, I think. He's just touring. His previous lap was probably his best lap. In fact, it was his best lap, yeah, 131.3. He's at the bottom of the pile, but he's not far off him, so that's good.
I think that Roger Morton's having some internet issues because he had a fall through for accepted level or whatever they call it, and then just recently he was going down the front straightaway and just went straight. It didn't make the first turn, the right turn. He just went straight off into the wall, which tells me that he probably lost his internet there too. So
yeah,
hopefully he recovers from that, because nothing's worse to ruin your race than that.
You'd rather go any other way than that, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, and he's just vanished.
No, he might have gone back to the pits. I don't know. Well,
nope, no, that's because it was the end of the session. So do you, in your adult state, Clyde, do you want me and Bill to run through the field?
If you wouldn't mind, because I'm just sorting out OBS so we can do our picture-in-picture.
All right, so I'll get on with it then. We've got a full lap of this place to talk over. So before we get going with the rolling start, sorry, I had an itchy foot. So our pole man in GT4 will be Kevin Viamont. Congratulations to Kevin for Mika Esports. Off second will be new to the league Tyler Newitt, but not new to winning. Andrew Hopley in third. He won't like the fact that he's looking at the back of another car. Roman Ratto will be hoping to get to the front, I'm sure, from fourth place on the grid and support his teammate. Fifth is Gregory Vranks. Paul Burgess is in sixth. He did very well last time out and got third, so keep an eye on him. Stuart Dick in seventh. Eighth will be AAA, Abdul Al-Amri, and he's a dark horse, I think, in this one. I think he might slowly work to the front. Rob Venn in ninth. 10th is Ben Cullen. 11th is Yaz Samai, and 12th is Simon Chester. And that is the end of the GT4s. I'll hand you over to Bill for the TCRs.
Okay, in the TCRs, we have, no surprise, Tom Stanley on pole. And one of his biggest competitors, Chris Shaw, is here tonight. He's in second. Scott Malcolm, out of character, is in third. He usually likes to come from behind, but maybe he's getting a head start on that tonight, so he's in third. Paul King, welcome, Paul, to our league. Qualified real well in fourth place. Sorry, probably was in fourth gear. Mark Heron in fifth, Carl Hardy in sixth, David Ayers in seventh, and Roger Morton in eighth. And they're rolling on their pace lap.
Okay, so we will have our usual picture-in-picture for you. So the main picture will be the GT4s, and the smaller picture in the bottom right-hand corner will be looking at the TCRs from the rear of their field. So we'll try and get all the action to you.
You know, Pete, a team that's really picked up their game is Asymmetric. You know what? They're really...
Yeah, Stuart Dick's been very competitive, hasn't he?
And, of course, AAA and
Tom
Stanley. God, unreal. They're really doing well right now.
Yeah, it's a good stable. And they seem to produce very competitive racing drivers.
Certainly do. And I notice they have somebody else with their colors on in TCR. I'm not sure who that is.
So have a look at that in a bit.
Yeah, I have to take a look at
it. That's Mark Heron.
Okay, Mark Heron. All right.
He's teaming up with Tom Stanley.
Okay, thank you.
Everybody's heating up their brakes at this point. Weaving, I don't think, does anything for your tyres. But getting the brakes into temperature really does help. Apart from when you're touring like this on the pace lap, and people are basically just brake checking you as you go around the track in official races, and you're like, "What are you doing?" But you do need to get the heat into the brakes in this one. So 2 Porsches will lead us away, of course, in GT4.
It's nice to see a little of the equality. They were kind of getting their backside handed to them in the early part of the year, but now they seem to be coming on pretty good.
After last season, iRacing did an update, and it has balanced the cars off a little. But the Porsche is definitely better around the twisty sections, and the BMW is better in the straights. I think Kevin's gone. I think we've gone green already.
Really? Wow. Okay.
He let the pace car go country mile ahead of him.
Yep, they are, and they're on the roll. You're right.
Yeah, TCRs have gone.
They've gone. They must have gone very early then. They must have gone on the straight.
Right at the end of the straight they went.
All right, same place then. And Kevin's definitely got the jump on Tyler. But the top of the hill here, for GT4 at least, is one of the most lethal places to be on cold tyres. So we'll see if everybody makes it through. Yeah, that switchback's really tough on cold tyres, isn't it, Bill?
Yeah, and you go over there blind, and I don't care how many times you do it. It's so hard to get the right spot over that hill there.
Yeah, if you go too deep, you end up losing either all your time or picking up 1Xs or going straight on and getting a time delay or slow down. When you get it good, you get it really good, and it sets you up beautifully for the S's that follow
Certainly
it.
does.
What have we got going on in TCR, Clyde?
Not a lot at the moment. TCRs are line abreast in their starting order.
Yeah, Kevin Viamont's in first, Tyler Newitt second, and
Your Mark Heron has just gone onto the grass. That's going to give the place to Carl Hardy and probably David Ayres.
Something to note in GT4 is Roman Ratto has taken Andrew Hopley from the start, and he's looking very fighty with Tyler, or he was. He's absolutely compromised his line coming out of the last corner and is now in the clutches of Andrew Hopley.
So Roger Morton is putting a lot of pressure on Mark Heron now.
I think we need to carry on with this split picture for a bit longer. The picture-in-picture, I should say.
Well, I'm amazed
we've got groups of 4 at the moment.
Yep. I was going to say, I'm amazed that, like we thought, they really haven't split up that much. I mean, they're still all pretty much within reach of each other.
Yeah, and coming out of that corner that I always think is the death corner, where you spear off onto the left-hand side.
Turn 5, yep.
Turn 5, yeah. Andrew Hopley absolutely reeled in Roman Ratto, double R. He took like 4 car lengths out of him.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Pete, go ahead.
I was going to say, this is going to be Tyler Newitt getting absolutely mugged down this back straight now by double R. That BMW's got some horsepower here. Look at that.
Yep.
But Tyler should be able to stick with him through these next few bits and redress that position fairly quickly, I would think.
Yep.
Oh, but look at the run from Andrew Hopley. Oh, man, that was awesome. Textbook stuff from Andrew Hopley. You couldn't teach it any better than that.
Yeah, he is a skilled driver, no doubt. And Tyler Newitt's in a H Racing sandwich right now between Andrew Hopley and Gregory Branks.
Yeah, and Gregory's actually catching this little group at the moment. That won't have helped double R. He got a tyre on the grass, or 2 maybe. Andrew's on terms with him now. But I don't know whether double R's... well, he's pulled onto a defensive line there. Oh, and a nudge from Andrew Hopley on the back of double R.
Double R, don't look in the mirror. Drive, man.
Yeah, there's a bit of that going on.
Oh, yeah.
Here comes Gregory round Tyler Newitt. Double R, I think, will be wanting to protect Kevin from the attentions of the 2H Motorsport cars.
I would say yes.
So in TCR, we've got the top four are still on each other's bumpers. Carl Hardy has got himself in a little bit of a space between Paul King and David Ayres. And then Mark Heron seems to be closing up on David Ayres at some points in the track and then falling back into the clutches of Roger Morton on other parts of the track.
Andrew Hopley has just passed Double R.
Oh, I need to see a replay of that.
Not sure where he got him. It was before the uphill part, or maybe it was the uphill after turn 1, I believe.
It was the straight.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, start finish straight at the end of it. Got inside him, kept him off the racing line. Brilliant overtake. Very well manufactured, that move. Now, AAA hasn't moved forward yet from his start position. Maybe he's waiting for his tyres to come in. Playing the patient game, potentially.
Yeah, it could very well be.
There's his inset picture, showing his rig and his driving environment.
Got his yellow racing shirt on tonight.
Maybe Stacey's watching. Maybe that'll influence her to follow AAA instead of a yellow-coloured car instead.
I think that's why he put the yellow shirt on, isn't it?
Yeah, I reckon
Maybe,
so,
yeah.
He's trying to steal a fan.
Stuart Dick has closed in on the back of Tyler Newitt a little bit. Well, they kind of lost him there in turn 1.
Yeah, he has. There's quite a lot of movement around here, actually. Most of it being Tyler Newitt moving a bit backwards more than he'd like.
Chris Shaw's putting a lot of pressure on Tom Stanley.
Yep, got a race going there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been such a long time since I drove front-wheel drive cars. I don't know how easy it is anymore to get a pass done, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I remember you have to line people up from way back, like 2 or 3 turns back, in order to get your momentum going.
Yeah, and I think as well with the TCR class, with all the cars being the same, you haven't got that. You know, the Porsche is better in the twisty bits, and the BMW is better on the grunty straights. They've all got the same equipment. It's all down to setup and driving.
Yep. But you're right, he's on him now. He's taking more shallow lines through corners and getting better drives out as a result. Look at this.
He's not letting him get in the way.
No way.
He's going to get this done.
It's difficult, isn't it? He probably doesn't have the grunt to clear the car. And therefore, what's he going to do on the brakes? Oh, he's well done now, though, isn't he? He left his braking a lot later.
Yeah, I believe he's got him.
Brilliant move.
And they're not really dropping third and fourth. There's a little gap.
No, but that is shots fired from Chris Shaw, isn't it?
It certainly is. That showed intent.
It showed fantastic racecraft, actually, when you consider it. He's contemplated that possibly for a couple of laps, the way that he approached that. The turn that leads onto the back straight there.
You're right, Clyde. That was with an exclamation point.
So Simon Chester going for a pass on Yaz Samai, but decides better of it.
Well, Tyler Newitt has not lost track of the BMWs in front of him. He's still within reach there.
Oh, he's very much with it, yeah.
Stuart Dick's back slightly, but still in touch as well.
Good camera angle, that one.
Well, Andrew Hopley's got a little work to do. Kevin Viamont's giving him a workout, I'll tell you.
Yeah, although Hopley did the fastest lap of the race last time round. Only driver in the 26s.
Yeah, he's definitely catching Kevin.
Kevin could really do with backing him into double R.
Do you think?
Well, I think that's the only way Kevin's going to get away is if double R can get close enough to Hopley to, start
Putting
making
him off
him
his
drive
lines.
different
Yeah.
lines.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, Greg Franks needs to be doing the same thing with double R. He needs to be trying to make moves
Yep.
on double R
Yep.
to give Hopley the space to have a go at Vmont.
Yeah, so at the minute we've got Mika Motorsports, then H, then Mika Motorsports, then H. Then XVR in the form of Tyler Newitt. And only then do we get to the asymmetric guys in the form of Stuart Dick. Paul Burgess separates Stuart from his teammate AAA. And AAA is getting dropped. See, that's very different to what we saw last time, isn't it?
I think he's still drunk from his victories on Wednesday and Sunday.
Simulated champagne can only last for so long, though.
He was amazing on Sunday, I have to say.
Teammates going at it here.
Oh, nice looking cars too.
Mm. Don't scratch them, boys. Wide line there from Scott Malcolm.
I'm wondering if is it possible to save fuel in the TCR? I don't know. I've never driven it. Is that a valid tactic for Tom Stanley?
I don't know whether it's
behind, save a bit of fuel, do a quicker pit stop. I don't know. I don't know if they can.
I don't know whether it's a valid tactic for Road Atlanta, to be honest, because it's got some heavy braking points, which means it's got some heavy acceleration points as well. You don't want to be off the gas on an uphill section of track, do you? So
no, although I think you could lift and coast at the back, not straight.
Yeah, not straight. Yeah. This is Andrew Hopley fully catching Kevin now.
Yeah, he's on him.
I think that's a back straight scenario, that one. Like this one should be and could be. But again, like Clyde said, he might be sat there saving fuel now, Tom Stanley.
Yeah, I think that's why we're on board at the moment, just to see whether he is or not.
Yeah, it'd be good to do a lap with these guys. Sorry, go on.
It appeared as Tom Stanley was coming down the straightaway that he was going to take a look at Chris Shaw. Then he kind of tucked in behind him. So, Clyde,
Right.
you might be onto something there.
Yeah. So
He's not saving fuel there.
he's not. he's having a look. So that corner gets you lots of X's and puts you off your lines and things like that. These S's are good fun as long as you get the turn in right. If you get it wrong,
that first one is key, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it sets you up for everything that follows it. This one's lethal.
Yep,
and you end
it
up
is.
losing the car in any direction, but mostly to the left there and into the wall.
And this one,
yeah, go on, Bill.
This one, when you go wide, it feels like you crashed into the wall when you go over that big bump there.
Yeah.
God.
This one is painfully slow, and you want to get on the gas way sooner than you actually should do.
And this is a really critical corner right here. I mean, you hit that wrong and you lose so much speed on this straightaway.
Yeah, I was watching Tyler Newitt dropping down towards Stuart Dick a bit more, and then these BSTV boys are still going at it.
Yeah, it looked there like Rob was letting Ben go, but
Oh, he has
I
done.
don't know.
Yeah, they're not in the same order they were.
Yeah, Ben's in front of him right now.
And he's just said thanks on the in-game chat.
Yeah, I think Ben must just be quicker at the moment, so being a good teammate, Rob has let him go.
Oh, sorry, I'm just watching Andrew Hopley basically position the front of his car on the back of Kevin's car.
Oh yeah, here it comes.
Yeah, Kevin's doing exactly what he should. He's staying as far left as he can get, so he can try and match him into the braking zone here. It'll be a miracle if he manages it against that BMW. That's a well-manufactured overtake again from Andrew Hopley.
Kevin's still pretty close. Well, he thought better of it, because if he tried on the inside, it would have been an accident.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Bill.
So the other H car now is having a look at the other Mika esports car.
Back way out of that one though. It's not really an overtaking point at the top of the hill, is it? It's too easy to crash.
It's not, and we're 15 minutes into a 60-minute race as well, so...
Yeah. Here we go. Mark Heron.
So Mark Heron has got right up now behind David Ayres. David has had bragging rights over Carl Hardy for the last couple of weeks, I believe. We've got crowd whistling.
He had a good race in the VRA though, didn't he? Carl Hardy.
Oh my God, yeah, he did wonderful.
Paul King disappearing off the screen and then reappearing again.
Wasn't quite a full Bingham.
It wasn't. He'll have to try a lot harder than that. Although he's trying a lot, isn't he?
I don't know. That stealth paint job can come in handy sometimes, I think.
I had a funny conversation with Paul King yesterday. Our team is obviously Vulcan Esports, and he drives for Vulcan Sim Racing.
Right.
Wow.
Have we sued them yet or not?
It looks like he's took him a little while to get to grips with the car, didn't it? So I think he's now up there and definitely putting pressure on David Ayres. Got a replay here. Well held.
Were you talking Paul King just then?
No, I was talking about Mark Heron.
Right,
yeah.
okay. Because Paul King is putting a huge amount of pressure on Scott Malcolm at the minute.
Yeah.
And as we already know, Scott does like this type of racing, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he can be a miserable Scottish git sometimes, but deep down he's nice.
I'll tell you, he's not a very excitable guy, but when you told him Road Atlanta, he goes, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was really happy about that.
Yeah, look at where he is in the race. He's third.
Yep.
Yeah, Paul Burgess is putting pressure on Stuart Dick now. I think we're now seeing it in a replay.
I think Paul Burgess
Paul
Burgess has a little mo going from last week's podium finish.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I think sometimes people grow into the car, don't they?
Yep. Yeah, side by each. Wow. Whoops.
A bit of a door bang from Scott Malcolm.
So Tyler Newitt has got past Greg Vrank somehow, and he was miles behind.
Yes, he was.
Tyler Newitt is crafty, tell you.
Yeah, but Greg was on the back of Double R.
Yeah, something has definitely happened there.
Maybe he had a slip somewhere or something.
Is this? No, this is Greg getting a huge amount of pressure here now from Tyler, and he's letting him go. What's that about? He was actually on the brakes letting Tyler go then.
Well, that's strange, isn't it?
I don't think you get a slowdown around that corner.
Nah. You got to be way off there to get a slowdown.
Yeah, like different postcode kind of off.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to ruin it now, but this is really good racing from these two.
Yeah, that's the end of that then. Ooh, leaving racing room. He has done. So that's... Oh, and he's kind of let him go there as well. Oh, no, he hasn't. He's done some sort of attempted cutback, I think.
Yeah, and look at AAA getting excited now.
Yeah, he like...
Look how much ground he's gained on these two. Just through
these
that
two
game.
just keep going side by side.
Yeah. Neither one of them on the right racing line.
That copper-colored car come from, anyway?
Honestly surprised that AAA isn't further up the field.
Yeah, perhaps it is. He's not had a lot of practice, or it's a track he doesn't like. The setup doesn't suit him. But yeah, we normally, we expect him up there in that top 5, don't we?
Yep, we do.
Evening to Wayne Sanderson on the chat.
Or morning. Or is he in the UK? I can't remember where he is.
Yeah, he's an illegal immigrant, isn't he?
Oh, is he? Right, okay. Does the government know?
They do now.
That's what I was hoping
Boris
you'd say.
watched
Yeah. Because clearly everybody does.
Oh, hello.
Well,
TCR in the pit.
it's Roger Morton. I was going to mention it a minute ago, actually. I didn't know whether he'd gone in because he had to or because this is the first opportunity he could do.
Well, I've not seen him crash. There's nothing on the event logger.
Right, that must mean that this is the window open then. He could win this now if the yellow comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine that?
We're a little over 21 minutes into the race.
And evening to Marco Lower on the chat. So not only has Tyler got past Gregory, but he's now putting pressure on Roman.
Yeah, he's suddenly found his mojo, hasn't he? And Gregory's definitely had something happen.
Maybe he hit the nitrous button.
Yeah. They're very close together. You can't get a Rizzler between the three of them coming around the last turn there. Wayne Sanderson showing no favouritism on the chat at all.
Nope.
Oh, that was a nudge. That was... he's flashing his lights, but I remember a couple of laps ago that similar was achieved at the end of this not straight, but the other way around.
Yeah, I'd like to see that pass again, maybe from overhead. And as if by magic.
And makes it happen. Oh, he's run wide.
Yeah. Scott run wide there, went late on the brakes there. Yes.
Probably should have pulled out of the...
Nothing in that.
Nah. This is still going on.
Yeah, that probably looked worse from Scott's onboard.
Yes.
He was definitely offline. He really couldn't expect any better than that.
There was 2 cars to the left of where he was supposed to be.
Yep, exactly. He was right on the edge of going off.
Tyler's certainly got that Porsche braking well.
Yeah, definitely.
He's taking a lot shallower line than those guys are, too, I noticed.
Yeah, I was mentioning that a bit earlier on another car, on another Porsche, and it was Kevin Viermont's car. And Kevin's not allowed Andrew Hopley to go. He's still within, well, 3/4 of a second of him.
Second, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. So pit stops might be the make and break of this, or the safety car.
You know, both these Both these Make-It drivers are Chargers. I'll tell you, they really drive hard, both of them.
I think they're picking up a lot of incidents along the way because I've seen both cars a bit wayward.
Yep.
Yeah, don't forget there's a drive-through penalty at 15 incident point.
Yeah, 15's not a lot, is it? You're now making me go and
No.
have a look at how much they've each got. If I can see that, that is. I can see that. Actually, it's I've got Roman at 1 incident, so I'm clearly talking out my hole.
Well, he's usually got more than that by now.
Yeah.
Tyler's looking on the inside, coming into the chicane at the end of the. He's got him. Wow. Amazing. Nice job. Wow, that was a great pass. But Roman's working back under the bridge.
Here we go. And back to where we were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But BMW grunt, isn't it?
Yeah. And here comes Greg. Oh, I was going to say here comes Gregory, but that's all
Yeah,
for
he looked
show.
like he was right close, didn't he? Yep.
Yeah. All for show.
So Tyler needs to set that up again.
Yeah, if one of those guys hiccups, we're going to have a 3-car wreck there. Wow.
Yeah, he's sorting out his lap at the minute, isn't he, Tyler? And trying to set up the car in front.
Okay, lead change in TCR. Tom Stanley back to the front.
Yep, down the back straight, he got him.
Nice paint job on that asymmetric car, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Tom Stanley's is simple, but it looks nice. Really does.
Mm.
I think if these two stay together like this till the end, the winner is going to be the person that crosses the line second for the last lap.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, because he's going to muller the other guy on the back straight.
Yeah. So Scott Malcolm has not given up on Paul King. He's kept the tractor beam on him.
I think he'll be enjoying this. It's decidedly not a boring race, is it?
No.
For Scott Malcolm.
Well, Scott's obviously going to win, isn't he? Because he's usually last at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
So by the laws of maths, he has to move so many places forward, which puts him in the lead. Hey!
About the last 15 minutes, he decides to start racing.
Yeah. But there's 7.5 seconds in front of Paul King to Chris Shaw here.
Wow.
That's quite a gap.
These two are in a league of their own at the moment, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yes, Samai is in the pits. Surprised nobody's blinked yet.
Yeah, from the top end, yeah. I'd have thought Tyler would have got a really heavy slipstream going down here, but it doesn't seem to benefit the Porsche very much.
Tyler just had a slight bingham on the back straightaway there also.
Yeah, a bit of connectivity, wasn't it?
Yep.
There we go.
Who's that?
2 GT4 leaders.
But not
he hit the wall coming in. Wow.
Who did?
Roman, be careful.
So, Tyler Newitt, Greg Vrank stayed out. I think AAA has stayed out.
I did wonder whether we'd get large populations of people boxing the car at the same time.
Ben Cullen stayed out. Rob Venn stayed out.
Ben Cullen doesn't necessarily pit early. He's usually a late bloomer or whatever you want to call him.
To be honest, I think when you're down the back end of the field, I think, if you pit when everybody else pits, you're going to end up exactly the same.
Yep. Exactly. Yep.
You might as well risk it. And if the safety car comes out, you're not going to be any worse off. You might be a lap down, but you'll still be in the same position.
I can
if it
confirm
doesn't
that.
come out, then you may gain some places from it. So I think Tyler's coming in this lap from that message.
Greg Brantz is looking for Tyler.
I like the way that Tyler's got a gold
Oh.
window banner and the other ones are orange.
Yeah.
It does look a little different, doesn't it? Yep, Tyler's in, so's Greg.
Yep.
Gregory Brantz.
I expect this is to cover off the eventuality of a safety car. AAA ignoring all of that.
Out. Yeah.
Now, the TCRs go a little further, if I remember right, don't they?
They do, and I think these two are going to be so absorbed in their fight, they'll forget to pit anyway.
Yeah, Ben Cullen and Rob Venn stayed out as well. Hopley gained some time on Veermont in that pit stop.
Yes, he did.
To the
Ooh, quite a
tune of
lot,
3
actually.
seconds.
Yeah, that's massive.
Sure is. Andrew Hopley does a lot of things very well, for sure.
So still not pitted in GT4 is AAA, Ben Cullen and Rob Venn.
Also, Greg Brantz hasn't come in either, I don't think, has he?
Yeah, he came in with...
oh, that's
Tyler.
right. Okay,
Tyler,
you're right. Sorry.
Scott's still chasing Paul King.
Or at least where Paul King's car sometimes is.
Yeah. Good first outing so far for Paul King.
Very good. I mean, he's sat in a podium position.
It's nerve-wracking following somebody's car that does that, I'll tell you. Go along, they disappear. Bang! They come back like right in front of you. God.
I once reappeared inside another person's car. Scared the fuck out of both of us.
Scott's making a move. No, he's going to back out of this. No,
He's not. Nobody knows where Paul's car is. Maybe Paul
Bang,
doesn't
there it
either.
is. Scott got him.
It was actually quite brave from Scott with the connection issues that Paul's having.
Sure was.
So the pit stop hasn't separated Gregory and Tyler too much, has it? They're very much still together.
AAA's in.
That's why I thought they didn't pit, because that's the way they looked before they pitted.
Yeah.
Cullen has stayed out. Rob Venn has stayed out.
They're on a secret tactic that only they know.
And, yeah, there's no positions changed after that round of pit stops. But some of the gaps have changed.
Another exchange for the lead, maybe? I can't remember who was winning now. They've swapped places so many times. Who was in the front before?
No, Chris got that done about 2 or 3 laps ago.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then I didn't believe myself. Oh, here we go again. So behind these two... Oh, hang on. I was just waiting for that, actually. Scott Malcolm's peeled off to the pits to break up that party.
Yeah, so does Paul King cover him off straight away?
I don't know. He's... Well, you mean on the next lap, you mean?
Yeah.
It's probably advised, isn't it?
evening to Matthew on the chat. Or morning to Matthew, should we say?
Yeah, morning.
Or it could be afternoon, too.
I think it's definitely morning for Matthew.
Okay.
I think he's land down under.
Ah.
So Ben Cullen has pitted, which has left Rob Venn in the lead. So both the BSTV cars have led tonight.
Nice.
Not very often we say that. Oh, and Ben has got out in front of Stuart Dick and Triple A.
I was just looking at that. How is that possible? Is that from not filling the car with as much fuel or what?
I think Stuart and Triple A took tyres.
Now we saw them do that in another race, and it benefited AAA, didn't it?
Yeah.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Ben just headed for the pits, I believe.
Well, if he was listening to the broadcast, he's just crashed into the wall because Clyde scared him with his sneeze.
I'm going to have to mute myself for a minute because I've got a sneezing fit going on.
So Tyler's back onto the rear bumper of Roman Ratto.
Boy, he's pulled away from Gregory Brantz, hasn't he? Quite a bit.
Yeah, since the pit stop, he's absolutely split from him.
Okay,
These
Roman,
guys are absolutely flying through these corners.
Sure are.
And that's Carl Hardy now putting pressure on Paul King. Or it was. I'll amend that statement. Carl Hardy breaks off to the right to pit the car. But the majority of the leaders of TCR, well, all the top 5 anyway, have still not pitted.
Tyler and Roman look like they're attached together.
They are certainly very, very close. And they've got a lapper in front of them in the form of Scott Malcolm, yeah.
Greg's lost a couple of seconds, hasn't he?
We're inside Double R's car. And a little apology on the chat in Sim from Tyler.
Oh yeah, the rear panel disappeared there. I just saw that. Yeah. I don't know why Double R is flashing Scott Malcolm. He doesn't have to move out of the way. I hate to tell you.
Double R's got to find his way around him.
Exactly. He's not doing a thing wrong.
So quiet is because we're listening to the chat in the simulator.
That just fascinates me.
Yeah.
Heat of the moment, and Roman is shouting and shouting and shouting.
Well, Scott Malcolm did fine. He held his line. He didn't do anything wrong.
But like Clyde said, heat of the moment stuff.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's
But
the difference.
Paul King's in the pits.
Oh, right, yep. Yeah, heat of the moment stuff, and if the opinion change is different on whether you're in a different class of car, and therefore you need to get out of the way of the faster class, which I don't believe personally is the case. I believe you just keep racing on the racing line, and it's for the faster cars to get past you on wherever that opportunity arises.
Well, you know, going down the hill to turn 5 is not a place to move over for somebody. I'm sorry.
Definitely not. No.
I mean, it's okay to, you know, maybe get off line going down the straightaway or something because you know the guy's faster, but you're not going to drive off the road to let somebody through. That's nonsense.
So this is a battle that's been going on for, well, from the start of the race.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a great one, too.
And it's just been broken up.
There it ends.
Oh, that's not good. Keep back
Whoa!
control of that. Wow. How he didn't hit something, I'll never know. But that's I don't know whether that's good control or bad control from Mark Heron.
Or maybe lucky control.
Or that.
Let's see it from on board.
Oh, here we go. This is going to be a Code Brown right here. Ooh.
Yeah, see, if that was me, I would have just smashed into them tyres.
I'd have hit both sides of the pit lane. So, Tyler has re-caught Double R.
Yeah, Greg's getting interested as well again.
Yep, he's trying to close back up again as well. Yep.
Well, they had dropped him by a couple of seconds after the pit stop.
But he caught them with all the shenanigans going on with Scott Malcolm. And now he's getting dropped a little bit again by these two.
Okay, Tom Stanley is in, Chris Shaw isn't.
That's going to be fascinating. I wonder what... hang on a minute. How far into this race are we? 41 minutes.
Yeah.
And when's the latest that we can get a safety car?
45.
So 4 more minutes. Here we go.
Oh, look at this.
Tyler on Double R. That move is very done. Good move.
And he's going to try to... Roman's going to try to take it back down the hill here.
I think he'll have a go down the straight if he's clever, because that BMW's got the grunt. Oh, not like that, though.
Right there.
Yep.
That's a gift for Gregory, but he's not in the right position.
Very nice pass. Tyler knew it. That was excellent.
Oh, dear. That's Stuart Dick chasing down Ben Cullen at the moment. Good line from Stuart through there. I'm glad he got out of that, because that is not the place to be overtaking people. Top of the hill.
Okay, Chris Shaw is in.
Well, this is going to be very interesting when Chris Shaw re-emerges as to whether Tom Stanley's got the jump on him by pitting early or not.
So Rob Venn has been holding off Triple A since the pit stop.
Yeah, and doing a good job of it as well.
Tom Stanley is in front of Chris Shaw.
Oh, yes. And by quite a distance compared to where they were scrapping
Well,
before.
that's the biggest gap it's been all race, isn't it?
Yep. Definitely.
Well,
Whoa, Stuart.
Ouch. Stuart Dick into the wall on the inside of turn 1.
yeah.
just absolutely over-rotated. One of those horrible slow crashes that the Porsche occasionally dishes out.
Yeah, just really got away from him. Right from the very time he turned in, it started going.
Yeah, I think he caught a bit of the curb, if I was to...
Maybe,
Yeah,
yep,
I
that could
think
be,
you're
yep.
right.
which caused the over-rotation.
Yep.
The Porsche doesn't like stuff like that. It likes to be smooth, or for the curbs to be in the direction of the turn, rather.
That's promoted Rob Venn up to 8th. He's still holding off AAA.
Yeah, not much in these two at the moment, is there?
No. I think AAA is just having a genuine struggle at the moment.
He appeared to just be looking.
Yeah, he stuck his nose out, but I think it was more
Okay.
for effect than...
Oh, yeah, he's still behind, yeah.
Okay, we're past safety car time. So once we get a block track, there will not be a random safety car. And Stuart Dix had to pit. Hopefully he's still got his fast repair left.
Thought he does, because it's been a very clean race, so the only damage you're going to take is from the bumps of the curbs, and that's not much around here. Oh, he's getting tyres as well.
Well, Andrew Hopley fashion is almost 7 seconds ahead of Kevin Viamat.
Yeah, Kevin was keeping that gap down up until the pit stop, really. There was a bit of a gap, wasn't there? There was about 4 seconds. So
yeah, that's right. Andrew, he did. That's what Clyde was mentioning. He did a 3 seconds better stop. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. He stretched it out good and proper now.
Okay, AAA is going for the pass on Rob Venn.
Yeah, Rob's done the right thing here. He's stayed to the left. You can block this quite well as long as you're good on the brakes. But then AAA... Oh, hang on.
That was TCR
Paul, wasn't it? That was Paul.
Direction. It was.
And Scott Malcolm, right? Yeah.
Yep. And AAA's got it done, by the way.
Yeah, what happened to Paul? Rob's coming back.
I don't know, but Scott Malcolm's car is bashed up at the front.
Oh, Rob got it done and then ran wide.
Scott Malcolm Audi is definitely bashed up at the front.
Yeah, going up that hill after turn 1, you go up on the left side. That's disaster over that side. Also on the other side is who was it? Stuart Dick found out.
Right, so what happened here? Actually, Scott Malcolm's car looks the same there. Oh dear. So, for some reason, I want to see that again, but it was definitely looked like
see it from overhead.
Yeah, Paul turned in on him from that first one, but we'll see better here. So Scott's done the right thing, stayed on the left. Still ahead, and yeah, just got kind of driven into.
Oh, baby. What made him think he was going to cut under him there?
Bit enthusiastic, that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So Rob Venn now has the challenge of getting back past AAA if he can catch him.
Admitted, Pete, we all think we're heroes when we try that kind of stuff.
I know I'm a hero, that's the difference. That's why I crash so often. So, Double R. Nope.
Hey, you're the philosophy. If you don't try it, how do you know you're going to not make it, right? Or make it?
Well, is that.
Stay with me, Pete. I'm trying to stick up for you, okay?
I think he's beyond saving, Bill, if I'm honest.
Totally. So, yeah, Andrew Hopley with a monster 7 and nearly 8 second lead now. Back to the old regime for Andrew Hopley, leading races.
Boy, oh boy, I'm telling you. He certainly has the right game plan, it seems. And Tyler Newitt right now is behind the 2 leading TCRs, trying to get by.
And Gregory Vranks and Double R are very, very close together.
They are, yes.
And they're chasing down Tyler Newitt. Okay. Trying to.
Yeah, and the lead TCRs. And that's important to point out. So Chris Shaw has reduced the gap to Tom Stanley.
He certainly has.
It's been an interesting battle between those 2 guys. Really been interesting.
It's been very to and fro. He's on him now, actually.
The last time I looked, it was 1.6 seconds. I think it's about half a second now.
And it all depends on how these GT4s make their way through these 2.
They took away the corner from him that time.
Yeah, so that's going to slow him right up and put him further back away from Tom.
Can't help it. They didn't do anything wrong.
Yep. Gregory's done the right thing there and bailed out.
He did. He backed out. Yep.
Look at this. What a charge. Not enough road for him to do it on that particular corner.
We'll get it done now. And Greg should get past Chris as well.
Yeah. So there's quite a bit of distance between the 2 now. Tom Stanley and Chris Shaw, of course.
Yeah, it did open it up a little bit. Well, it didn't help Greg and Roman either. I mean, it helped Roman, but not Greg.
Yeah, Greg...
he was a little closer than that, I believe.
Oh, he was. Gregory pulls out the slipstream of Tom Stanley's TCR.
He's got it done.
He has.
Good job. Nice pass. Look at Tom Stanley charging right back up there.
He's got a bit of a gap now, Tom Stanley. 1.5 seconds.
Tom Stanley drives very well. That's why we don't like him either.
Yeah. He's off the Christmas card list.
Definitely. But like you said, it might be Stacy's new fan, yellow. And I'm looking at Mark Heron coming through the down to turn 5. He's currently in 5th place in TCR standings.
Yeah, and David Ayres, a bit further back, is can't figure out whether he's duking it out. I think he's duking it out with Scott Malcolm.
With Scott Malcolm, yeah. Oh, Marco the Mailer's woken up, everybody.
No. He's lost all his speed here, hasn't he?
Who, David Ayres, you mean?
No, Scott Malcolm.
Yeah, David's going to get this, or should get this done from here.
Yeah. He's already cleared him. Scott's way down on top speed. The damage all over that Audi is hindering him significantly now.
Oh yeah, it's hard to see, but the front end's damaged. Yep.
It is quite badly actually on the.
Yeah, it looks like a pug-nosed puppy now.
Yeah, on the right hand side or left as
It's
you're
quite
viewing
camouflaged, isn't it, with that
Yes,
paint
it
job?
is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I need paint like that, don't I?
Nothing can camouflage that amount of damage.
Well, especially when the camouflage paint would be at the side of the road on the panel that had fallen off.
I was gonna say when it flies off. Yeah.
Yeah. Paul Burgess not quite able to get onto the podium this time round. He's back in 6th at the moment.
No,
And,
Chris Shaw's in his mirror too, of all people.
Yeah.
It's true. When they get out on a little straightaway, they seem to pull away a little bit. Oh, he's a TCR sandwich right now. I see that. Okay.
Five GT4s are separated by a little bit of time now. And we're drawing steadily to a close of the race. There's about 4 minutes still to race. So Andrew Hopley is currently the GT4 race leader, with Kevin Viamont in 2nd, Tyler Newitt in 3rd, Double R in 4th, and Gregory Vranks in 5th.
Yep. And in the TCR division, we've got Tom Stanley, followed by Chris Shaw, Carl Hardy, Mark Heron, and David Ayers.
David Ayers is going to end up with a decent result, isn't he? He's going to be top 5 in TCR.
Yeah, and Carl Hardy, who was sucking swamp water in the beginning, is up to 3rd, so not bad.
Sucking swamp water, that's class.
Well, they always tell him he's eating too many pies, so I thought I'd change it up a little bit.
Andrew Hopley has got himself a 7.5 second lead over Kevin Viamont.
And I see the BSTV team cars are currently in 7th and 9th.
Which is pretty good going, really, isn't it?
Not bad at all. See, Rob Ben letting Ben go by a while ago worked out because Ben's moved up a couple places.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think those tyres really helped AAA, did they?
They've certainly not had the effect they had in a previous race where he made his way through quite a number of cars in front of him. I think it was last season. It's certainly not this side of week 14 that we had not too long ago. And he made his way through quite swiftly in that one. This one's not been the same.
Well, he's had a couple really good weeks, and it's, I mean, he's got kind of a down day here today, so we can't take it away from him. He's really improved a lot, AAA.
Oh, definitely.
And don't forget as well that AAA and Stuart Dick are driving a lot of different cars, aren't they? Because they're in the VRA GT3 league with us.
Yep.
They both made an appearance in the V8s last Friday.
That's right.
Yeah, so they don't get to focus on the one vehicle exclusively, do they? Because they've got different tracks to learn.
I think we may have another battle as well between Triple A and Ben Cullen.
Ah.
Is that gap reducing, is it?
It's, yeah, I've just had Abdul past Ben, Ben past Abdul, Abdul past Ben, Ben past Abdul.
Ah.
And Gregory Vranks has now caught Double R pretty quickly here.
He's putting tremendous pressure on him also.
So where is the leader? This is going to be the final lap.
Ah, right.
He's just on the back straightaway now.
Yeah, checkers will be out at the end of this lap.
He's approaching the chicane at the end of the back straight.
Stuart Dick's trying to get himself unlapped before that happens.
Don't think it's going to happen.
No, I don't either, unless he lets him go. She's kind of done and gone
Whoa,
wide.
baby. And that's first place.
Yep.
Kevin Viemont in second, not really super far behind. He picked up a few seconds there.
Giving his lights a good old flash.
Yeah, Tyler Newitt's come home third.
In his first run in this league. Very good, Tyler. Good job.
Roman Ratto in fourth, with Gregory Vranks right behind him in fifth.
Well, Tom Stanley takes his fourth win on the trot in TCR.
Amazing.
Chris Shaw comes home second.
Yeah, Chris Shaw gave him a battle for quite a while, though. Most of the race, really.
Paul Burgess has just crossed the line for sixth in TCR.
Paul Burgess, he runs. Oh, that's right. Oh, I'm sorry. No, Paul Burgess is in GT4, Pete.
I see.
TCR.
I don't know. That's a shame.
That's all right.
Crowd are going wild.
Well, Andrew Hopley showed his mettle today. He really did a great job.
Definitely. Showed a lot of maturity in all those overtakes.
Well, they're doing a team hug here, huh? Yep.
I think so, yeah. Or Team Donuts, I'm not really that.
Andrew Hopley's had a lot of practice. He's pretty good at it, too.
Here come the Mika boys to...
All right, I'm going to have to leave the interviews for you, Pete.
All right, that's not a problem. We'll have to go through the field first in the finishing order. If Sam can get that on screen, me and Bill will carry on with that. Oh, here we go. So, your GT4 race winner is Andrew Hopley for H Motorsport. He's followed home by Kevin Viemont in second for Mika Esports. Tyler Newitt took the last step of the podium in third for XVR Sim Racing. Roman Ratto Double R finished fourth for Mika Esports. And Gregory Vranks in fifth for H Motorsport. Paul Burgess finished 6th for Ninth Light Racing. And BSTV's first finisher in 7th is Ben Cullen, who was one of the biggest movers. He's taken 3 places from his start. AAA for Asymmetric comes home 8th. Rob Venn in 9th for BSTV again. Stuart Dick for Asymmetric finishes 10th. 11th is Simon Chester. And Yaz for Northern Lights Racing and Yaz Samai for Ninth Light Racing finishes 12th.
Okay, when we get the TCR up there, we'll give you those.
Wow, that was an awesome sneeze. That was orgasmic. Oh, another one.
All right. Well, I'm going to read it off my monitor here. I don't see it coming up on my screen. Anyway.
Yeah,
oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, he's got it there.
There she be. Okay. Okay. Tom Stanley, 4 straight for Tom Stanley from Asymmetric TCR. Chris Shaw from Ascari Autosport in 2nd. Carl Hardy, the Pie Boy, in 3rd from Result Clothing. 4th was Mark Heron, Asymmetric TCR. 5th, David Ayers, Result Clothing. 6th, Scott Malcolm from Work Guard by Result. 7th, Roger Morton for Safeguard by Result. And our final finisher, Paul King from Vulcan Sim Racing.
Okay. So we've got people lining up for interview, so I'll drag them in and introduce them, Pete, and then if you can do the interview.
Yeah, sure, I can do that.
Okay, so our only GT4 car that we've got ready for an interview at the moment is our 3rd place Tyler Newitt on his debut in the league. Over to you, Pete.
Good evening, Tyler. That was an eventful race for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Compared to how I expected it to go before the race, it went great. Once I got into the race, I was a little disappointed, actually. But yeah, it was good fun.
And you were duking it out at the front of the field pretty much the whole race. Those Mika boys are a challenge, aren't they?
They are, yeah. I mean, I can't obviously fault Roman for fighting me, but I'm a little disappointed because once I got by him, I was closing about a second lap on the leaders. But he put up a good fight. Those BMWs are just so fast in the straight. I mean, you have to be touching their bumper, getting out of turn 7 to have a chance of passing them at the end of the straight. But I had figured out kind of last minute that you could take left side tires in the time it took to fuel the car, or for the fuel we needed. And I know some of the top split GT3 guys were doing GT Le Mans, so I gave it a shot, and it seemed to work out. I think
that explains why you appeared to be faster in the second half of the race.
Yeah. I honestly think if I had gotten by Roman a few laps sooner, I would have had a chance at second. I don't know that I would have been able to catch Andrew for the lead without a safety car, but I was after the first lap when it was a bit, cold left side tires, it really settled in and seemed pretty quick. So I wouldn't expect to be this far up in future races, because I don't know that I can pull that strategy and to this much success. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm happy to be a part of this.
Yeah, and what did you think of the standard of racing in this league?
I thought it was excellent, honestly. There was, I was kind of around Roman and Gregory the whole race, and they gave me as much room as I needed, and I think I gave them as much room as I needed, and that was that. The TCRs were, they were fighty as they deserve to be, but they seemed pretty respectful. So I was quite happy with it. I'm not sure how many more of these races I'm going to be able to do, but hopefully going to knock out as many as I can before stuff starts picking up for me on Wednesdays.
Yeah, well, it'll be good to see about for any that you can do. A podium on your first race out has got to be reassuring for you. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Well, I thank XVR but they didn't do anything for. Well, I guess Steve did the stuff I needed for the paint, but no, of course. Thanks to XVR, as always. Thanks to you guys for the broadcast, Virtual Racing Association, Immortal, all that good stuff. Yeah, thanks for having me.
And thanks for coming and racing. Tyler Newitt.
Okay, next up, Pete. He's ready. We'll get the back in form Andrew Hopley, winner of GT4s, for you.
Andrew, it's been a little while at least since we interviewed you for a race win. Bit more refreshing, yeah?
Cheeky.
A
But
good
what do you
race,
mean
though.
back in form?
Well, we didn't want to point it out too, obviously. Some fantastic overtakes towards the start of that race. You were very carefully and systemically picking people off until you got to the front. And your overtakes were very well crafted. Have you done much racing around here for Petit Le Mans or anything like that?
No.
No.
We didn't do, no, we didn't do Le Mans. I've done a good chunk of practice. Don't get me wrong. But no prior racing over the past couple of months here.
In that case, very impressive, because from what I saw, it was a very, very clean race. Your overtakes were textbook. I think I used, particularly for one that you did on turn 1. It wasn't even a block pass; it was just a fantastic pass. So, hats off to you for that one. Any standout moments for you in the race?
The pit stop, I think. But thanks for the comments, though. Appreciate that. But yeah, the pit stop. Couldn't really pull away from Kevin. I was really concentrating on looking after the front left, especially into turn 1. So surprising, really, to pull those moves off down there, because that was one corner where I was really sort of trying to take it easy. But yeah, once we got past Kevin, I was hoping there was a slight chance that I was going to pull away from him, and then he just kept closing back up. So yeah, it was one of those. I started the race. I didn't expect it to be leading, to be honest with you. I thought got the new guy Tyler. He seemed to be on pace. Kevin was on pace. So just sort of sat in third on the grid, thinking, you know what, I just want some good points from here. You know, I need to sort of get some good points on the board for the championship. And yeah, ended up like with a 4-second jump on Kevin at the pit stop. So.
And do you know why that was?
I guess it's just strategy, really. I must have either.
Did you put on the same lap? You did, didn't you?
Yeah, pitted behind me. Yeah, so I must have taken less fuel. Because aside from that, you know, there's nothing else to it really in terms of strategy. Is there? It's you know, he got into his pit stall fine from what I saw. I didn't see him reverse into his pit stall. So yeah, I'm just guessing it was fuel. He took more fuel than I did.
Well, 3 seconds of fuel is quite a lot, isn't it? So we'll find out, no doubt, because he's in the interview room. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go and celebrate your latest race win?
Yeah, just you guys for the broadcast, the lads in the league. You know, the championships. It's full of great lads. Spent some time with Yaz and Paul on Monday night. I think just trying to help them out. That were a good laugh in a practice session. So I think I'm you know, I want to do more of that. I want to try and bring some of the slower cars up to pace, make it more interesting. It'd be good. So yeah, thanks to you guys, the guys in the championship, and Greg, my teammate.
Yeah, he had an up and down day today. He moved forward quite rapidly, to be honest, and then slowly kind of drifted back again, and ended up back in the place that he started at. So, yeah, a bit up and down, but not a bad result. 5th place is still good for Greg. He doesn't like to join us in the interview room, does he?
No, I think you know, I'm sure at some point he will win a race. I'm confident of that. So I'm guessing he's probably saving it for then.
Is it Clyde? Does he scare him?
He's Belgian, he's Greg, so yeah.
Clyde, you're scaring Belgians.
He might not understand the Cornish.
Some scared of you as well. Anyway, so anybody you'd like to thank before you Oh, have we already done that one?
Already done the thanks, but yeah,
All
thanks
right.
again.
Yep, brilliant race win for Andrew Hopley. Congratulations.
Thanks, lads.
Okay, next up for you, Pete, we'll bring in our second place GT4 finisher, Kevin Viermont.
Hi guys,
Hey, Kevin, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, a very, very competitive race for you, wasn't it? You started on pole. You pulled quite a sizable gap at the start of the race over everybody else who was fighting amongst themselves. And then that Hopley fella, he kind of wore you down, didn't he? He took your lead away and took your position away in about 5 or 6 laps.
I'm happy for my pole position, but I don't say for the race I have not good sensation on my brake pedals, and it's very difficult to or to have a good pace. I have managed the race, and it's very difficult to uh, to catch Andrew after the overtake.
So, is that a technical thing with your pedals or setup or the car? What caused that issue for you? Do you think?
I think my setup and the grip overtake.
Ah, right. So it's the track conditions. It
Yeah.
was a very, very hot race, wasn't it? A hot track surface temperature.
Yeah.
But you had some fantastic battling going on pretty much all the way through, and you've put the car into a second place podium finish. What happened in your pit stop? Did you take more fuel than Andrew, do you think?
Yeah. I have I have lose 3 or 4 seconds. I say Andrew take 37 liter, and me I have at pit stop I have taken 38 or 39 liters.
Right. Okay. And did you end up with loads of fuel at the end of the race or not?
Yeah, for
All right.
the rest of the race, I have two more lap.
Right. Okay. So just a bit of fuel too. Well, other than that, you were highly entertaining, and it's a great finishing position to be in second place. No doubt you'll come out fighting next time round. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Yes, I want to thank my team, MK Sports, my teammate Romain Rato, and all partners, Kinos Pro, Nuages+com, Transport Didier Clément, and Domaine Filatro.
Tremendous. So congratulations on your second place, Kevin Vimon.
Thanks. See you next week.
See you next week.
Okay, so let's round out the GT4 field with Kevin's teammate, known to us as Double R, 4th place. Over to you, Pete.
Hi guys.
Good evening, Roman. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm fine, and you?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. We're all doing better than Clyde. He's got man flu. It's a sad thing. He's just being a big girl over it, really. But anyway, you managed to finish 4th. You started in 4th. You've not lost any positions, and you battled to and fro with a number of people around you, in particular Gregory Vranks and Tyler Newitt.
Yeah, it was a pretty good race. I found a pace that kept me ahead, and I wasn't expecting that, so it was a cool race, a good race. I feel like I'm subscribed with the brawl with Greg, so it doesn't get bored.
Yeah.
it's not an easy circuit track with these blind corners. So the important things was to limit the track extrusion. In the middle of the race, Tyler had a really big pace in the middle of the race, so I tried to keep him as much as possible behind me. Even Sung, I knew he was going to overtake me given his pace. I had yeah,
we found out what his secret was.
yeah.
He took left-hand tires during his fueling because you can do that in the time that's allowed.
Yeah, the fuel, it's very important to don't do the same things like Daytona with the no fuel at the last lap. So
yeah.
we put 40 liters in the car. We saw with Kevin the pit stop of Andrew, who was very fast. So yeah, we have the question in our heads. So if Andrew have not so many fuel for the last lap, we have a possibility. So he finished the race.
Yeah, it's a fine line, isn't it, between not taking enough and taking too much, and maintaining your competitiveness.
Yeah,
Definitely. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go and practice for the next race?
Yeah, I would like to thank you guys for the broadcast and my partners, Mekai Sport, Kinos Pro, Nuage+.com, Domaine Saumur, and Transport Digue et Clément. And I would like to thank my mom who watched me in the stream in Portugal. So have a good night, my mom.
Yes, good evening to Romain's mum.
Yeah.
Hi, Mrs. Ratto. Yeah, that was fun. Anyway, brilliant stuff, and we will see you next time. Double R.
Yeah. See you next week, guys.
Okay, so that's the end of our GT4 interviews. So into TCR. Now, unfortunately, Tom Stanley has had to shoot off to work. Chris Shaw, I'm not sure if we've ever had him in the booth or not, but we'll get him in at some point. So we are left with third placed Carl Hardy. Over to you, Pete.
Third place is pretty good, isn't it, Carl?
That's all right compared to where I started.
Yeah, you've moved up equally as much as the other fastest mover, which was Ben Cullen in GT4. How much of that did you do in the pits, or was it all done on track?
I caught Scotty and Paul up towards the pit stop. I was trying to save my tyres, but I'm still rubbish on them.
You still burning through the front?
Oh yeah, I just go through them. Yeah, 100%. I was tempted to do a tyres, but I'd have lost far too much. But yeah, it's all right. Yeah, most of it I think was in the pits. Scotty was really, really happy with it.
Mm-hmm. You had a good result at the weekend as well, didn't you?
Done all right. Top 10.
Top 10. And Scott Malcolm, I think, had damage issues. Paul King, I'm convinced, had damage issues. And then you didn't really get on terms with Chris and Tom, but then I don't think there's many people that can at the minute because they are viciously fast, aren't they?
Yeah, there's no touching them two. They're on a different planet. They're all right, though. It's good to have them there because even in practice, like Tom's about, so you can judge yourself and see how far behind you are on him. And you try and find it, but you can't. It's just another class.
So do you think anybody's got an answer for Tom?
Chris?
Anybody got an answer for Chris?
No.
No. Okay. That's fairly simple and straightforward, then. I like it. That's good. And you're clearly going to get bragging rights in the morning.
I won't mention it.
Much.
Oh, no.
For what, 7:30 or something?
Yeah.
So
I'll wait for the coffee first.
Yeah, you had two new drivers to this race tonight. So Mark Heron and Paul King. Did you encounter them much?
We come across Mark in some officials last night, and he jumped in the practice session what I put up on Monday night. So yeah, I come across him on them 2 nights, which was good. Got chatting to him. Tried to get him in our chat, obviously to give him a paint, but then I found out who he's teamed up with.
Yeah.
Luckily, he's not as quick as Tom.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, brilliant race for you. Podium finish, bag of points. You're still way up there, as far as I understand it. With Tom Stanley stretching his legs a little bit more with 4 finishes, 4 victories in a row. Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go?
Just the result lads, normal people, result lads yourselves. Great job you're all doing, and all the drivers and drivers of race.
Thank you very much. Carl Hardy, our 3rd place finisher for GT.
Take care, lads.
Okay, so now we will bring in our super duper mate and 6th place finisher in TCR, Scott Malcolm. Over to you, Pete.
Yeah, good evening, Scott. How are you?
I'm gutted.
Yeah, I bet you are, mate. So your car looked a bit second-hand by the time you finished, and you were clearly down on top speed. But at the start of the race, you were massively competitive.
Yeah, I tried something completely different with the setup this week, and I thought I had hit the nail on the head, but obviously not.
So it was a setup thing that was impairing you, obviously without the damage.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't really know yet, because I had that much damage. I think that's what was slowing me down, because I all behind me at the start of the race. So his connection didn't seem to be too great, so he was bouncing about. But each time he bounced about, he was giving me a 1x and maybe just coming back down on top of me and giving a wee bit of damage until the server caught up with him or something like that. I think it's maybe that contributed to our coming together at the chicane as well.
Yeah, possible. We also witnessed the Bingham effect, because that was what I used to do when I had terrible internet. I've changed my ISP now, so that's good. But yeah, he was blinking out of existence and then reappearing randomly, and that's never good. Bill was saying how hard it is to race against someone that you cannot see, and that just appears on your front bumper or inside your car. So that's a bit of a shame. Yeah, and you had a couple of come-ins together with him, but probably because you couldn't see him, I'm guessing.
Yeah, possibly. I think it was just down to that, just down to the netcode and all that kind of rubbish.
Yeah. Netcode's something we could happily do without, it has to be said.
There's not much you can do about it. There's not much you can really do about it.
No, true. And any learnings to take to the next race, particularly about your setup?
I'll try something else next week. But for one thing, I'll be sacking my pit crew because they pulled me in a lap too early. Didn't fill up to the end of the race. So it was like coasting down that hill.
Right. So you were you were coughing across the line, were you?
I was coughing about halfway around the lap. I thought, I'm going to make
Right.
this. So thank God for that hill at the end.
Yeah, bit of downward momentum to get you across the line. Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go, Scott?
It's just got to be the usual crowd. Use a lot for putting up your time for doing these broadcasts. Result clothing teammates and just the rest of the guys for turning up and putting on such great races.
Thank you for your comments, and I'm sure all the racers appreciate it as well. Scott Malcolm, our 6th place finisher in TCR.
Cheers, guys. Clyde, we hot toddy will sort you out.
Yeah, I know, mate. I'm going for it as soon as this is finished. Right, so we have one final interview, and that is our 7th place finisher in TCR, and returning back to the championship, Roger Morton. Over to you, Pete.
Good evening, Roger. A race of mixed fortunes for you, yeah?
Yeah, how we doing, mate? How we doing? Are we all right?
Yeah, I'm all good. Clyde's suffering from big girl syndrome because he's got a bit of a sniffle.
No.
Bill's doing fine. Sam's gone quiet on us tonight, so it's left to me and you.
That's all right.
Yeah. So tell me about your race. You started in was it 6th, I think.
That was 8th, I think.
Was it 8th? Was it?
Yeah, I was in the back.
Bottom of the pile, weren't you? And made your way up 1 position by the end of it. We saw you scrapping with a few people, and we saw you scrapping with Scott Malcolm at some point as well towards the end. I think it was. I'm not sure now. Tell us about your race.
Well, yeah, I was with Mark and David for the first 10, 15 minutes. Then I ended up going wide on first corner. I just lost that toe and I just couldn't get it back then. It just went from downhill and I tried too hard, overdrove, and
Did you have a setup for the track, or were you using somebody else's setup?
To be fair, we've been using the same setup throughout our races. I've not really adapted as such. It seems to be a good universal setup between them all. I might try and work on something a little bit more in the future. Just trying to find the time. I'm very soon. I'll have the time to be able to put a bit more practice in, and hopefully get to the guys and try and be with them.
Yeah, that'd be good if you can. And then, are you hopeful that you can move up the field in future races?
Yeah, hopefully. Like Daytona, I had decent pace at Daytona.
Yeah, you did.
I don't know what. Is it Kota next week?
Yes, I think it is, isn't it?
So I will be doing. We've got the 12-hour race a week on Saturday, so I'll have a bit of practice with doing that. So the track itself should be quite familiar by then, and mixing with a bit of TCR practice as well. It should be hopefully a bit better.
Yeah, it's a similar track to this one, isn't it? In the fact that you've got lots of blind turns on Kota.
Yes. To be honest, I've done a lot more laps on Kota just by Formula One on old Xbox days and stuff like that. So I've got a little bit more track knowledge on that one. So hopefully it can be a little bit better.
Yeah, and Kota, you can pick up 1Xs just by staring at it. Virtually every corner's got a 1X on it.
Yeah, we'll see. Obviously, driving up in Audi be a little bit different to driving it than a Formula One car, like with downforce difference. But we'll give it a go.
Yeah,
sure, we should be all right.
Yeah, positive mental attitude is what it's all about. So, anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go, Roger?
The usual, you lot. You do a fantastic job week in, week out. I don't know how you do it for money, to be fair.
Nor do we.
Money? Is there money class? Shh. All right, okay.
And the result boys, they've helped me out a lot. I enjoy racing with them, and also the drivers in this championship and the Sunday night championship with the GT3s. Probably the 2 best leagues that I've been in. Really enjoying it at the minute.
Yeah, it's great to hear. Thank you very much for the comments. In that case, we'll let you go. Thank you very much to Roger Morton, our 7th place finisher in TCR.
Cheers, thank you.
Right, guys, that's the end of the interviews. GT4, Andrew Hopley back at the top of the pile. Kevin Veermont chased him all the way. Tyler Newitt, fantastic showing, I think, in his first event. I think there's 5 or 6 in GT4 that can potentially win races, so that's got to be good for the championship. In the TCRs, it's the Stanley Shaw show. They do seem to be head and shoulders above the rest, but I know that the result boys are trying hard, and they're going to be there for if Chris or Tom slips up. Good drive from Mark Heron switching over from the GT4s. I think Paul King was a bit unlucky with his internet issues, and I think yes, that did have something to do with that accident. Scott Malcolm, we thought he had got back where we thought he could be, but faded after that crash and the damage. And AAA as well was a worry in the GT4. I know he's been saying that his tyres were like mush, so you know what Cota's like. That certainly mushes your tyres up. So we'll have to see if he can do something with the setup and get back into it again. I think I thoroughly enjoyed this race, and I think my main thing from tonight, we're 4 races in. We had a good season last season, and we're 4 races in this season, and the racing is fantastic. The guys that drive in the league are fantastic, and the standard of the racing standards are absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that's it from me. Over to you, Pete.
Andrew Hopley is, I think, a driver that needs to be mobbed by everybody else in order for him not to win. I think that's the only tactic they've got in order to stop him winning at the moment. There are lots of people who could easily win, at least 6, if not 7, just as I'm reading through the list there. And he's just pulling it out of the bag at the moment. I don't remember a race where I've seen 2 drivers racing as close as Chris Shaw and Tom Stanley for as long as they were without crashing, and they didn't even touch, as far as I could see, the entire race. So hats off to them. That's precision driving. They were literally millimeters apart for I don't even know how many laps now. The only thing that separated them was their pit stop and the traffic that was making its way past them in the GT4 field. So that was just fantastic. They were swapping places constantly, but not dropping back to the rest of the field, which shows how fast they were going. So I've been thoroughly entertained by this race. I think everybody else should be as well. And for me, Road Atlanta's delivered another great race again. I thought the Porsche would perform better than it did. Even though we've got 2 Porsches on the podium, they were still getting done on the back straight. And that's a little disappointing for me. I was hoping for a much more balanced approach from the 2 cars at this track. Cota next time out, that's a high power track, but it's also a lateral tyre scrubbing track, isn't it? So it'll be interesting to see how these 2 cars fare with their individual differences. I don't know how to predict that one. It's a very strange track, and you can pick up 1Xs literally on every corner. So that'll be an interesting one to get to. But this one I've thoroughly enjoyed.
Excellent. And Bill, sum up the race for us.
Well, you guys have pretty much covered everything. I agree totally with everything both of you have said. Andrew Hopley is in a class by himself. I mean, he didn't qualify on the pole. Oh dear, but he really has the right strategy. He knows when to make the moves, and he's very clever. There's no doubt about it. But like Pete mentioned, we got some dark horses back there that are ready to pounce, and it's not going to be before the end of the year. It's going to happen. I mean, he's been beat once, but I'm telling you, it's going to happen. We're going to have 2 or 3 different guys up there very soon. And as far as driving standards, this league is brilliant. I mean, really, there's not a problem out there. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit scraping and stuff, but that's going to happen. But nothing deliberate, nothing nasty, just really excellent. And, you know, I was listening to the interviews pretty closely, and everybody commentated what a good group of drivers they are. And that is the truth. They are really excellent. I mean, they're so courteous, but yet, you know, they're aggressive. They want to win too, but, you know, they're courteous, they're respectful. I mean, what else can you ask for? I can see nothing but this league going to the sky. I'm sure it's going to grow. Like I said earlier, word of mouth is going to spread the word, and definitely going to be the place to be if you want to race a GT4 TCR. So looking forward. Well, I'm looking forward to next week. COTA is not my favorite place, even though it's in my home country. I think the track sucks, to be honest with you, to be blunt. But you know, you got to race everywhere. So we'll see how it goes. That, like Pete said, that may be the place for the Porsche, because there are a lot of, well, that track doesn't make any sense, but there's a lot of twisty areas there, and but you do need a lot of power there too. So it should be very, very interesting. There hasn't been one race that I haven't liked. I have to tell you, and when Clyde first put this together, I thought, oh great, you know, it's gonna be like watching solstices going around, but it's not. It's absolutely fantastic. It's really competitive. It's great, and looking forward to more. So thanks everybody for showing up to drive, and of course everybody out there, thank you.
Excellent. And Sam, a busy night for you, but as we've seen in this league, a busy night looking at overtakes rather than crashes. Excellent. So, what have we got coming up for you on BSTV? Friday night, we are in official V8 action from Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Make sure you tune in for that. That's going to be an awesome race with a big field. Saturday night, we stay with the V8s and the Racetech V8 ESC. With 3 quick-fire super sprint races from the Snetterton 200 circuit. And as we've already alluded to, next week we are back in GT4 TCR action from Circuit of the Americas. Not everybody's favourite track, but we'll see how it goes. So I would like to thank Pete, Bill, and Sam for joining me tonight and covering for me in my moment of need. All the drivers, you know, you make this league what it is, and it's turning into a fantastic league. Everybody that joins us on the chat and watches the broadcast, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube so you never miss part of the action, and also join our Facebook page. I will say goodnight now. Let the guys say goodnight, and we'll close the broadcast. So, good night, and thank you, everybody.
Yeah, good night everybody. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, good night, everyone.